Circle graph or pie chart. Now we are going to introduce to a new concept of circle graph under the chapter name data handling, which is also termed as pie chart. Have you ever come across data represented in circular form as shown in these figures? Well, yes, you might have observed such graphs in a cricket match whenever they show different runs scored by a batsman in an innings so far. Well, here we are provided in some other event. The event is the time spent by a child during a day. So we know during a day we totally have 24 hours. We can observe over here that 8 hours is spent in sleeping only, and 6 hours in school, 3 hours each on others activities and playing, and 4 hours of the day are spent in doing homework. So here from this graph we get various information about activities of a child during a day. Take another example. Age group of people in a town. The information we get from this representation of this circle graph is this. There are total of 50 plus 30, 80 and 20, 1 lakh people in a town. Out of them, 50,000 people ages are from 15 to 60 years. And 30,000 people fall under age group of 0 to 14 years. Similarly, 20,000 people fall under the age 60 and above. So we observe that these type of graphs, that is circle graph, can provide us many information in terms of small chunks, which we also term as sectors on this circle. So these are called as circle graphs. A circle graph shows the relationship between a whole and its part. So whole means complete event. Therefore, if we observe here, we are talking about a population, which is an event. And out of it, we are talking about different parts. Here, the whole circle is divided into sectors. So these chunks or pies are called as sectors. The size of each sector is proportional to the activity or information it represents. Here, the size of this chunk or this pie was greater as compared to other sectors because the activity of sleeping is taking 8 hours, that is maximum amount of hours of a day. Therefore, the bigger the sector, the bigger is the activity. For example, in the above graph, the proportion of the sector for hours spent in sleeping, that is what we were talking about, that is equal to number of sleeping hours of what? Of complete day. Therefore, 8 hours in sleeping only out of 24 hours of a day. When we cancel it, 8 3s are 24, so 1 over 3 is the ratio or the fraction that is dedicated for sleeping only for a child during a day. So this sector is drawn as 1/3 part of the circle. So we have already studied that how to draw fractions in terms of pictorial representation. So this sector is 1/3 of this complete circle. Similarly, the proportion of the sector for hours spent in school. School is 6 hours, so it should be 6 out of 24 or 6 over 24. The same has been shown over here. When we further solve it, 6 4s are 24, therefore 1/4 representation is shown in this sector of complete circle. So this sector is drawn 1/4 of the circle. So with this you got the idea that the amount of activity we have to draw proportionately on the circle. Similarly, the size of other sectors can be found. Add up the fractions for all the activities. Do you get the total as 1? Yes, it should be 1 because we are talking about whole part. When we will add all the small sectors, we shall get the complete whole part. Therefore, a circle graph is also called a pie chart because these are small pies. Consider the pies of a cake. Bigger the pie means bigger the activity. Smaller the pie or the sector means smaller the activity of that complete event. Now try these. Each of the following pie charts in this figure give you a different piece of information about your class. Find the fraction of the circle representing each of these information. Here we are talking about strength of your class, that is total girls and total boys, and it is provided to us that 50-50%. That means if we have total 40 strength of a class, that means 20 will be boys and 20 will be girls. So we observe that this form of representation in terms of circle provides us various information pictorially. Second part, transport to school, that how student come to school. Bus or car, that is using motorable means of transport, 40%. 40% prefer walking, and remaining 20% prefer cycle. So if we will add all these, that should equal to 100%. That is 40, 40, 80 plus 20 is 100%. That is complete students prefer these three modes of transportation. Third case, love, hate mathematics. Well, 15% of the students hate mathematics. What does that mean? That 85%, although it is not written, but that we infer from this pie chart or this circle graph. So we can simply say that 85% of the students love mathematics. Second part, answer the questions based on the pie chart given over here. So let's visualize first of all. This pie chart shows viewers watching different types of channels on TV. So there are different genres of programs shown on a TV. Entertainment is preferred by 50%, that is half of the population. Then sports is preferred by 25%, news by 15%, and informative by 10%. So number first is, which type of programs are viewed the most? Clearly, entertainment type of programs are watched by majority of the population, that is 50% or half of the population. Second part, which two types of programs have number of viewers equal to those watching sports channel? So sports channel is watched by 25%. So the question is asking for name two channels which adds up to 25%. Well, clearly, if we add both these genres of shows, that is informative and news, we will get equal to 25%. 15 plus 10% equals 25%. So we can say that informative and news channel adds up and equates to number of viewers watching sports channel. So therefore, pie charts or circle graphs provide us visual information clearly. After getting the idea about circle graphs or pie charts, now let's understand how we draw these graphs. So drawing pie charts. The favorite flavors of ice creams for students of a school is given in percentage as follows. So chocolate is liked by 50% of the students, that is half of the total number of students. Vanilla flavor is loved by 25% of the students, and remaining 25% likes other flavors. Now we need to represent this in terms of pie charts. Now let us represent this data in a pie chart. The total angle at the center of the circle is 360 degrees. You know very well from your geometrical figures that central angle of a circle equals to 360 degrees. So the important thing in mathematics is that it is a concatenation of various concepts. It is not like other subjects which uses limited concepts in order to understand something. But in mathematics, each and every concept you learn integrates with each other to give you meaningful outcome. So that's the beauty of mathematics. It says the central angle of the sectors will be a fraction of 360 because complete central angle is 360 degrees. That is, as you can see here, this complete angle will be equal to 360 degrees, and there will be chunks called sectors like these. So suppose this is sector number 1 and this complete is sector number 2. So what we are doing, we are actually dividing this central angle into fractions. So that is what this statement says. So we make a table to find the central angle of the sectors and we construct it, and that is just what is needed in order to construct a pie chart. So let's visualize table 5.5. So we have categorized under 4 columns, namely as flavors, which were chocolate, vanilla, and other flavors. Now students' percentages were 50% of the students love chocolate flavor, 25 vanilla, and other flavors by 25%. We are just representing in terms of tabular representation. Now in fractions, we need to find fractions because fractions help us in determining particular quantity with respect to total quantity. That is the only reason we need to find fractions first of all in order to construct pie charts. So what does 50% means? Half. So here we have half. Percentage simply means out of 100. So 50 out of 100, which can also be written as 50 over 100. That is what we have learned very well in chapters of fractions or decimals. These are interconvertible. Now, after finding fraction, so this fraction of what? Central angle. Of means multiplication. So this is the concept of statement type of questions. So we see we are using so far three concepts of mathematics. So half of 360, it simply means half, this fraction is getting multiplied with 360. Half of what? Central angle. That is the bigger or the whole part is 360 degrees. We have to find what parts of 360 is half. Clearly, when we will cancel it, it is equal to 180 degrees. So we have found degree measure of chocolates in the pie chart. Likewise for vanilla, 25% means 25 of what? 100% means with respect to 100. So 25 over 100, when we cancel it, 1 over 4, simple. Now we got the fraction part as 1 over 4. Therefore 1 over 4 of what? Central angle. Of means again multiplication, 360 degrees. So we can easily cancel with 90. So 1 4 is a 4, 94 is a 360. That is degree measure for vanilla, and other flavor was similar to 25%, so its value should also equate to 90 degrees. Nothing fancy in this. After knowing the angles, that is sector angles of various sub-events of a bigger event, now how we construct actual representation. So now practical geometry concepts will be used. We need to draw a circle with a convenient radius. Suppose we are taking radius as 4 centimeter. And using pair of compasses, we construct a circle with O as center point and AO is our required radius. After doing this, our second part is the angle of a sector for chocolates is 180 degrees. Therefore, we will use the protractor to draw angle AOB equals to 180 degrees. You will place your protractor over here, that is origin point over here, the base of protractor on line segment AO, and mark wherever 180 degrees falls. And after that we will connect with the help of ruler. So that will give us 180 degrees. This you know very well from the concepts of practical geometry. That completes our step number 2, and you write chocolate because this 180 degrees represent chocolate. Now continue making the remaining sectors. That is, we have to construct 290 degrees. That is, we have to divide this remaining 180 degrees. So we will use our protractor again and mark 90 degrees from this point. So 90 will fall here, and finally we will connect it. And we will write vanilla and other flavors. You may write it in any sector because these both angles are equal. So with this, we come to know the process that how to construct pie charts or circle graph. Now let's consider this example. Adjoining pie chart over here gives the expenditure in percentages on various items and savings of a family during a month. So we have savings of 15% and rest of the things are just spendings. That is, transport takes 5%, house rent takes 10%, similarly education and food takes 15 and 25% respectively, and other stuffs take 20%, and savings only happen for 15% of the total income. Based on that, let's try to answer these questions. On which item the expenditure was maximum? Clearly, this one is the biggest sector of this complete whole chart. Therefore, on food, expenditure is maximum. That solves our first part. Second part, expenditure on which item is equal to total savings of the family. So total savings is 15%, and the question is asking for find that item on which expenditure equates to 15%. Well, simple. It's education for children spending, that is 15%. Therefore, these both are equal. That's why expenditure on education of children is the same, that is 15% as the savings of the family. Third part, if the monthly savings of the family is rupees 3000, what is the monthly expenditure on clothes? Now concepts of linear equations will be used. It says monthly savings, which is 15%, is equal to 3000. So it is providing us that 15% represents 3000. Then it asks, what is the monthly expenditure on the clothes, which is 10%. So we are provided value of 15% and we need to find value of 10%. It is this simple. Therefore, 15% represents or is equal to 3000. Therefore, 10% would be equal to how much? So this is just a unitary method used over here. How much would be 1%? It would be 3000 over 15%. Simple. So the same has been done over here. This is the value of 1% only. 3000 over 15. How? Let's explain you here. If 15% is equal to 3000, now 1%, that is if we will divide both sides with 15. So we are dividing both sides with 15. Now we can cancel it. We divided it with both sides because it doesn't change our value. That is what we have learned in linear equations. So this 3000 over 15 is the value of 1%. Now we know the value of 1%. We can easily know the value of 10% by simply multiplying this value with 10. So the same has been done over here. So nothing complicated. Just remember the basic concepts and do not cram the things. Now we solve it. 15 ones are 15. So 15 twos are 30 and putting these two zeros as it is. Now plugging this zero over here, that gives us this thing same, rupees 2000. So how easy was it? Just do not rush while understanding. Example 2. On a particular day, the sales in rupees of different items of a baker's shop are given below. So these are the sales on different items on a baker's shop. We need to draw a pie chart using this data. So first of all, we must know total sales. Obviously in rupees. So 720 rupees he earned in a day, of which 320 came from ordinary bread, 80 came from fruit bread, and so on. So now you understand why we need total in order to get the fraction. That is what part of particular item out of total part. So let's find the central angle using a tabular representation. So there are 4 columns used. Item name, simple. There are 5 types of items sold. Then sales in rupees of each item. Now we need to find fraction first of all. So let's try to find the same. So this is just the value written over here. We need not to watch above for the same. So 320 out of what? Out of total, that was 720. Therefore, we need to find ratios or fractions. Cancelling it and further cancelling it, which you know very well. So it comes out to be 4 over 9. Now, we know the fraction of what? Because we are going to construct it on a circle and we know 4 by 9 out of complete angle was 360 degrees. That's why 4 by 9 of means multiplication 360. You solve it, you get 160 degrees. How? Like this. 1 9s are 9, 9 4s are 36. This 0 as it is. 4 4s are 16. So writing 16 and plugging this 0 as it is. So 160 degrees. Similarly for biscuits. 120 out of what? Out of total sales. 120 rupees he got from biscuits out of 720. So solve it. You get 1 over 6 as the fraction value, but we need to represent in terms of circle, that is in terms of total angle of a circle or central angle 360. Therefore, we multiply this required fraction with 360. So again 6 6 is 36, this 0 as it is, therefore 60 degrees. Likewise you can do for rest of the items. So the basic steps are, we need to find fractions first of all out of total number of parts, and then after finding fractions we need to find the sector angle, which we can get by multiplying the found out fraction with central angle or 360 degrees. After that we simply construct a circle with the help of compasses and represent with the help of protractor, which we shall understand more deeply while solving the exercises. Now we have to try these. Draw a pie chart of the data given below. The time spent by a child during a day. That is just we read in the first part. So how you will do it? Let's give you an idea. So we need not to add them because it is talking about during a day, and we know very well that a day consists of complete 24 hours. So what will be the fraction for sleeping? It would be 8 over 24. Simplify it, and whatever the fraction will be, just multiply that with central angle or 360 degrees, and that will be your required sector angle. And after that, draw a circle with the help of compasses, and using protractor, draw these found out sector angles. Think, discuss, and write. Which form of the graph would be appropriate to display the data? Population in lakhs for different years from 2001 to 2006. Well, we just studied, so we can use it in terms of pie chart representation. Second one, choices of food for a group of people. Again, this can be constructed easily on a pie chart. Third one, the daily income. We just read the example of daily income. So this again can be represented on a pie chart. Well, if you observe this one, this will be best drawn on a bar chart. So we shall avoid pie chart in this case, although it can be represented on pie chart, but that will not give us very good information on pie chart, rather on a bar graph. So based upon that, we shall try to solve exercise 5.2 in next tutorial.